What do I do if my teammate, which promised to do work, joined the team, only to pretend to do work and does nothing? Very common, right? And then the second was like, hey, it's very long. He was like, I'm a developer. I'm really passionate, willing to do a lot of work, try to take responsibility, but I can't carry the whole team. One of them didn't even reply. So he just went on to do his own thing. But it's just not good enough because it requires a team of 4 to 6 and it's just one person. Every project has an objective. So the first project is about whether or not it's a test, whether or not you as a team and you as an individual team player is willing to carry the load and function as a team. Are you able to let go of the fact that you are just a developer, just a designer, feel a little bit uncomfortable about picking something you're not really good at just to complete the objective with your team? The second is also a mental test, and that is to separate the people who really made a mistake versus the people who couldn't be bothered. Remember I said in a message that if you have lost trust with your team, you have to haul ass to get selected by a new team. But the efforts that I see, a lot revolves around going to the general channel. It's like, hey, I'm willing to do this, and then say, well, nobody respond. I can't find a team, right? I give up. But what I'm expecting you to do for hauling ass is you going to individual people that's like, hey, I'm sorry I did this. Like, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's how I'm gonna prove it. And bring something on the table to prove it. Either a timeline, either something that you have done in that 1 week, or put down a wager, right? If I can do this. If I don't, just kick me out. Because you should have the guts to do it if it's real. So that is something that if you have lost trust, that's something that you should be doing. So second project is really a chance for you to prove yourself, to separate the people who made a mistake and the people who just couldn't be bothered. The third is for you to finalize your makeup. What's going to happen is that the competition team, the people who are entering the competition, is going to check. It's like, let's say I didn't do so well and I want to join Roland's team. Roland's going to check, it's like, who have I been with in terms of which team have I joined with? If on the first project I joined with Roland, I didn't do so well, Roland kicked me out. Okay, I joined Jeffrey's team on project 2. And then I got kicked out again. I joined Brad's team on project 3. So, and on competition, I come back to Roland and say, I really want to join your team. But I already disappointed Roland once. What do you think Roland's gonna do? Roland's gonna talk to Brad, he's gonna talk to Jeffrey. And I'm gonna give every team that opportunity to background check you, so to speak. To make sure that you are really what you say you are, to know that, hey, this person is real solid, right? So that's one solution. The second solution is this, is that in the project management video, I talked about it a little bit. What is the only factor in play here for semester 1, for those who have watched it? People, yes, resources. The only variable in play, there are 3 variables, I talked about it, there are 3 variables in that video. The only variable in play for semester 1 is people. So if you think you need 3 people, you need to build in some buffer in case somebody couldn't show up. And it may not be on purpose, it may not be like, I purposely don't want to show up. It could be some real emergency, so you can deal with that. Because in semester 2, you don't have, the variables in play is going to be a bit different, right? It's going to be scope. So resources is in play. So when you're talking about people, this is when you build trust, which one of you answered kind of half correctly, is in trust. Because trust is fundamental to everything that you do here. Beyond Game of Apps, it exists in your life. If you think about it real closely. Imagine you're deciding between the new Xbox S, right? Xbox X or something, or PS5. And you go through the details, or you're deciding between Netflix and Disney Plus subscription because your mom only allows you to subscribe to one, right? You break down the features, it's like they have this show, they have this features. I'm gonna go for the Xbox. And then you know what? Brad is saying, nah, Xbox sucks. Take PS5. You know what? You're gonna buy the PS5. Why? Because of one word, trust. Brad doesn't even need to say anything. All Brad has to say is, nah, Xbox sucks. Buy PS5, we can play games together. So if you want to understand what trust looks like, that is exactly what trust happens in your everyday life. So when you bring it back to the project, what you're trying to build is to earn that trust, so that when you say you're going to do, every time you say something, you're writing a check. Relationship between team members is very simple. It's a transactional relationship, and the currency is trust. Every time I say something, I'm writing you a check. If I tell Jeff I'm gonna do this, I'm writing it in the check. If I do it, it's effectively Jeff cashing in the check and receiving a little bit of money, and that money is trust. And if I can keep on writing check that Jeff can cash, the trust builds up to a point. So much so that if Jeff says, I want to buy an Xbox, I say, it sucks, buy the PS5. He's going to buy my word for it. So earning trust is very important, and learn how to mitigate your risk as a team. How do you deal with people who are not showing up? Make sure that you have enough buffer that you're planning for, so that you're not crazy. So what do you do if you're only one person? Remember, watch the video. There's 3 things. The only thing that you can play with is resources, right? Scope and time is fixed, which means that it's going to make you predictable. If you have to hard carry, and there are times that in my career, I have to hard carry because the team don't show up, a team of 4, right? Super disappointing, right? Because it sucks, right? You know what I did in the video? I just wrote a credit. Everything is just my name. Filming, editing, directing, working as well, just my name, just to make a point. But the way to deal with it is to minimize your risk and plan more meticulously. So if you find yourself in a situation whereby you are doing the only carrying, then all the more you should be planning really hard. Understand the scope, dividing the work, making sure that you yourself can do it. So I'll give you an example that's more relatable to you. If I'm hard carrying this, and I'm a developer, I'm not a designer, I find myself in a situation, then drop nice design, make use of material design, understand material design assets, and make an app using that assets. That way I can make something that looks good, functions well, and do that. So plan out what you want to do.